So for starters, I've been dating this girl for a while now, her name being Isabelle, going on a year very soon, and all is going well in that regard. However, when we first met, she told me about a less than ideal ex-boyfriend she had a couple of years before she had met me. They still went to the same school, and he ended up going to the same university as us after we graduated high school as well. Apart from that, all three of us went to the same church, meaning there was a lot of opportunity for him to meet us. The creepy encounters with him, Jose being his name, started a little before we graduated high school. After he heard we were dating, he was furious, even going as far to try and say I was sexually abusive on Twitter, but nobody believed him given his accusation was complete horse shit, and he was notorious for doing the same in the past in order to keep Isabelle from talking to other guys when they were together. That's just the beginning though. Before we begin, if you're interested in this type of video, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell. It started off small at first, seeing him at the mall whenever we would go on dates, before it was illegal to go outside. After a while, it seemed like a little too much to seem like a coincidence though. He started showing up to our church, which although wouldn't ever really be abnormal, he all of a sudden joined the same youth ministry as well. It seemed as if he was trying to get as close to us as possible at all times. There was one instance I remember very specifically at a grad party everybody was invited to. Everyone was in the backyard, and I remember looking across the patio and just seeing him staring at me and Isabelle from the other side. His eyes didn't move, and his breathing was very heavy, as if he was angry or anxious or both. He didn't try anything that night though, probably because of the other people there that night. After I left the party and dropped off my girlfriend at her house for the night, I saw a black car following me for a majority of the way home, which I didn't really think much of, and not to sound like that guy or anything, but I wasn't too worried about it either. I'm fairly well built and have done martial arts for a little over 6 years. The next day, that same car was tailing me almost the whole day while I was running errands. Things got a little heated in the afternoon though. I was sitting in my car outside of a store waiting for a curbside pickup when he parked a few spaces down from me, got out of his car and came up to my window. He started yelling at me, saying I would never be good enough for Isabelle, as she still loved him no matter what I thought, and that he was going to make sure that she and I weren't together. I just tried to ignore him. Starting anything would have probably been a bad move, given that he hadn't even touched me or my car, but I was still a little heated. After heading home, it was already pretty late, so I just played video games for a while till I was tired enough to go to sleep. When I was walking back to my room, I saw him from my window, just standing there on the sidewalk, looking right at me. The only reason I knew it was him was because of the light from one of the street lamps. My parents had also seen him and asked me to go check it out, since they aren't the youngest of people and wouldn't be able to do much other than yell at him to go away. But as soon as I walked out, he just got in his car and left. This happened every night for about 3 days straight. The last night I ever saw him was not unlike the others, except this time he didn't leave when I went outside. In fact, he started walking closer to me. I didn't notice until he was a lot closer, but he had something in his hand. I couldn't tell what it was, but it looked like a fairly large knife you'd use in the kitchen. Adrenaline kicked in and I ran back into the house and told my mom to call 911, after which I went back outside. He was just there in the front yard waiting. When I stepped outside, he said, "Isabelle belongs to me, and I'm going to make that happen no matter what." He ran at me with the knife, but muscle memory kicked in and I had him pinned down after that. The cops came shortly after, and I explained the situation to them, after which he was arrested with a couple of different charges I don't really remember. One other thing I do remember, however, was what was inside his car. When the police came, they also searched his car to see if he had anything else I should have been worried about. They found a bunch of tape, some rope, another large knife, a handgun, and a camera. I don't know what was going on through his head, but I could at least guess from that kit he had in his backseat that he was planning on hurting me in some way and recording it. I hate to think what would have happened if he had tried to come into the house while everyone was asleep, but I'm glad he was arrested for what he did or planned to do anyways. Please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell for more content like this.